Good morning, welcome back to the American Muscle Car Museum here in beautiful sunny Melbourne, Florida. Today, before it gets too hot, we wanted to share with you the newest pace car to join the collection in a 1985 Oldsmobile Calais 500 pace car. This was an all-new model for GM, and in 1985 it would only be a coupe, but later sedan body styles would be available. This end platform would underpin the Buick Somerset Regal, which would later be renamed the Skylark, as well as Pontiac's Grand Am. And they replaced the X-body platform cars, which were like the Oldsmobile Omega, the Chevrolet Citation, the Pontiac Phoenix, and the Buick Skylark. These weren't the entry-level car, they were kind of a little step up from that. Base price was $8,500, up to a fully loaded example like this, which was closer to $12,500. In '86, they added a sedan. In '90, they added the Quad 4 engine with the 442 model, which bumped power up to 180. And in the last year, 1991, they had a 190 horsepower example, which could also be paired with a 5-speed manual. So that would probably be pretty fun. This would have paced the 69th Indianapolis 500, which was held on May 26, 1985. Danny Sullivan famously won that race, the spin to win race. There are two track cars that were actually used at the 500. Those would be turned into convertibles, as was typical. So you can see the celebrities that were driving them. However, the replicas that were sold to the public and used around the track were all these hardtops. There would never be a production 442 convertible during this generation. 242 of these examples were made. They could either be optioned with a 3-liter V6, which this car has. They could only be paired with the automatic in that case. Or you could have the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder Iron Duke with either the automatic or a 5-speed manual. Power for the 3-liter was 125 horsepower and 150 foot-pounds of torque. For the 4-cylinder, it was a lot less, rated at 92 horsepower. This car was really important for Oldsmobile to try and attract a younger audience. When this was introduced, the average age of Oldsmobile buyer was over 50 years old, so they really didn't have anything that appealed to younger buyers. However, they still had pretty much the same model line as they did even 20 years prior. They still had the Tornado, they still had the 98, the Delta 88, the Cutlass Supreme. They had a lot of cars that were kind of redundant and hard to determine where they slotted in the model line. On the inside, the interior is special to the 500 edition. It's got silver, like nearly aluminum, shiny interior. Pretty unique. This will only be available on the 500 model. Seats up front are comfortable. Seats in the back are surprisingly good. And with this weird roof line, the headroom is pretty good even for larger occupants. This is the most recent pace car to join the American Muscle Car Museum collection. We picked this up at the Mecum Spring Classic that was held in Indianapolis. It's got just a shade over 1,200 original miles, has a ton of original documentation, even has the Oldsmobile tape where you can use to test your audio system. A lot of unique touches on a rarely seen Indianapolis 500 pace car. If you'd like to know more about this or any other car in the museum, please head over to the AmericanMuscleCarMuseum.com website. Check out our YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. Thanks for watching.